Hi, guys. Thank you for joining me again on the baseline today. We're going to talk today about the $6 trillion dome they don't want you to question. Now, you ever feel like you're watching a Marvel movie, except the villains aren't wearing capes? They're just filing contracts. Because while you were worrying about eggs hitting $7 a dozen, your government, our government, quietly approved the $25 billion missile shield called the Golden Dome. Yeah, Golden Dome. And not to be confused with the Iron Dome in Israel, because this one's apparently made out of pure taxpayer gold. And here's the kicker to all this. Trump says it's only going to cost us $175 billion. But the Congressional Budget Office ran the math and said, that's cute, but try $542 billion. And then someone else who clearly had a calculator on demon time said it could hit 6.2 trillion. So here is the question. And the question is, are we building a missile defense system or the world's most expensive magic trick? So let's talk about it. Here's what you need to know right out of the gate. And number one is this. Yes, this is real. Number two, the Golden Dome is supposed to be America's version of Israel's Iron Dome, except instead of protecting a small country the size of New Jersey, it's trying to shield all of the United States, including Alaska, Texas, Florida, and maybe even Kanye West's ranch in Wyoming. Who knows? But this brings us to number three, which is the price tag. It's not just astronomical, it's orbital, because Lockheed Martin already bagged a $25 billion contract. And that's just the appetizer to all this. Now, Trump says he wants this thing fully operational in 3 years. Like it's a microwave oven of a military complex. I don't know. But what if I told you the real story isn't about national security at all? It's about who profits from pretending we're always one missile away from annihilation. Because once you follow that money, you realize this is not about defense. It's about offense, financial offense. So let's get into that part. The defense contractor, gold rush, that's just occurring right now. Now, let me ask you something. If you were a defense contractor and someone said, hey, there's a brand new missile shield being built right now. Now, we're talking about unlimited budget, no real oversight, and a global threat narrative baked in. Are you in? You'd probably say yes before the word missile even finished. And that's exactly what happened here. Companies lined up like it was a Black Friday at the Pentagon. And we're talking about Boeing, RTX, Palantir, L3 Harris, Lockheed Martin, even SpaceX showed up. And they're like, hey, want to rent your defense system like a Netflix subscription? And I'm not making this up. SpaceX literally proposed offering missile defense as a subscription. Imagine waking up to a nuke alert and getting a pop-up. Your trial has ended, upgrade to gold tier to intercept incoming missiles. This is how crazy some of this stuff sounds, but I don't know. Meanwhile, these companies are swimming in our tax dollars. From 2020 to 2024, the Pentagon handed out $2.4 trillion in contracts. Now, 5 companies, Lockheed Martin, right, RTX, Boeing, General Dynamics, Northrop, pulled in like $770 billion. And that's not defense, that's generational wealth with a missile launcher on the side. Now, that price tag, it keeps inflating. So let's talk about those numbers, but let's make it painful the way that it actually should be. Now, Trump says the Golden Dome will cost $175 billion. And that's cute, right? Because the CBO says try $542 billion. And Reuters says let's round up to $831 billion just to be safe. And Senator Angus King, bless his realist heart, says if you really want to protect all of America from hypersonic threats, spy balloons, and TikTok drones, the true cost could actually reach 6.2 trillion. Now, you know how much 6.2 trillion is? That's enough to send every American a check for $18,000. Instead, we're getting a dome we'll never see to protect us from threats we can't verify in a system no one fully really understands, operated by companies who bill by the zero. And the best part, there's no guarantee it's going to work. The United States is not Israel. Israel's Iron Dome defends a sliver of land. America is a continent. We've got time zone, we've got mountains, we've got Florida, which honestly deserves its own budget. So who actually believes this system will work across all 50 states? Well, I would assume it's the people cashing the check. That's who. So lobbying ends up being such a deception, right? So let me break this down like a Netflix documentary, right? In season 1, defense firms spend $149 million lobbying Congress, highest since 2010. And in season 2, they get $2.4 trillion in contracts. And that's a return on investment Warren Buffett would blush at. Now, $149 million to get $2.4 trillion, that's not lobbying, that's legalized looting. And yet, when you turn on mainstream news, they'll say, oh, well, that lobbying had no effect on policy. And then in the back of your mind, you're going, really? Like, you think Lockheed Martin dropped $25 million on a golden hype video in March just because they're proud of their work? Yeah, I don't think so. They're pitching a dream. And one, the government is already paying for. And here's where it gets extra shady, if it can get any more shady. More than a dozen of former Biden defense officials now work at these same firms. The revolving door isn't just turning, it's spinning like a Vegas slot machine. And that's not security. That's strategy for shareholders. Now, who really benefits from all this? Let's try to go full circle on the whole thing. They're calling this thing Golden Dome, and it sounds shiny, it sounds safe, but ask yourself who actually benefits. Is it actually United States citizens? Is it Americans? Is it you? Is it me? Is it us? Are you going to sleep better at night knowing Raytheon just invoiced $300 million for a laser pointer? So let's be real, right? This project isn't designed for safety. It's designed for scalability, for contractors, for legacy, for headlines. And if you're on the right and you're worried about deficits, this should have you foaming at the mouth, whether you're on the right or the left, right? This is not a team thing, because this is not a defense bill. It's a blank check to the military industrial complex. Every dollar that goes into the Golden Dome is a dollar that's not fixing infrastructure, not lowering drug prices, not funding education, not helping veterans who actually fought in these wars, by the way, and that these firms profited from. But here we are, funding a potentially $6 trillion gamble while we still can't afford universal health care? It's weird, right? Now, here's the next twist. And the question that nobody's asking is, what happens when you spend trillions on a missile shield and then realize the next war won't be fought with missiles? It'll be cyber warfare. It'll involve artificial intelligence. It'll be a narrative. But hey, you can't make $770 billion off stopping a Wi-Fi breach. And that's the world we're living in right now. Now, the Golden Dome might be the biggest defense project in United States history, but it could also be the most expensive. And it could be the most expensive distraction we've ever bought into. And that's why I really want you guys to think about how this is all panning out. Because these same companies, they're getting rich off missiles and they're buying your data. And it just ends up being the next thing that's going to drain every taxpayer in this country. So thank you guys so much for watching The Baseline. I really appreciate it. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. Do you guys think I'm off about this, or do you think we need this type of a system? I'd love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for watching The Baseline, and we'll catch you on the next round. All right, cheers, everybody.